This video is about how to heal the version of you that overgave. The version that gave everything to everybody, your love, your time, your energy, just so that you could be seen and then be drained of it all. And we're going to put that version to rest and we're going to learn how to heal that overgiver version of ourselves because we need to heal it and we need to move on and set boundaries. So that's what this video is about. The root of overgiving is something that would stem from childhood, thinking that you need to do things to earn love. And then when you became an adult, you had to prove yourself to people to feel their love. And I used to be such a big people pleaser to the point where it was like, well, no, people pleasing, it is what it is. You are neglecting yourself. You're like literally abandoning yourself for others so that you can make others happy, even though you're not happy. That's basically what it is. And I no longer do that. I'm so grateful to be out of my people pleaser era because, to be honest, there was just so much cost to being an overgiver, especially when like people expect when you're that person already and have that personality, people expect it. So when you stop doing it, it's shocking to them because they're not used to you putting up that boundary. And people, they get turned off by it, right? And that happened to me a lot as I started to learn to set boundaries. And that's the thing is when you don't have boundaries and people aren't used to you having boundaries and standing up for yourself, that when you start doing it, people are like standoffish about it, like, or they stop talking to you. But that says a lot about them. But that's the thing is I was a very big people pleaser and it was very exhausting. And I started to resent people for taking what I was giving freely, to the point where I didn't even want to really be around these people because it was too exhausting, because obviously I'm getting drained. And then my nervous system was constantly in survival mode. So I was like always in fight and fight because my needs weren't being met by myself, by my own doing. I chose to not meet my own needs. Overgiving disguises itself as like being understanding when it's really over tolerating, or having a big heart when it's really lack of boundaries, or being loyal when it's fear of abandonment, calling it forgiveness, even though it's really self-betrayal. There's many different ways that overgiving is disguised. And you get to a turning point where you're just like, you stop chasing people who do not meet you, like chasing people to meet you halfway. Like you just stop. You're tired of it. You don't want to be walked on all over again. You're tired of explaining your worth to these people. Like it's exhausting, and you crave peace and you crave attention just from yourself. And when you start to heal this version of yourself, you start by setting boundaries. And it's very uncomfortable at first. Like even just recently, like, because I am getting used to setting boundaries, but even just this recently, I set something else, another boundary. And like for like a second, I was like, wait one second, maybe I'll just give in. And I was like, no, you don't even want to do this. So why would we even bother doing this? And it was like that moment of like me being used to being a people pleaser that I was going to just give into it because, it just like I felt bad. And then I just realized, well, like I shouldn't feel bad because it's my life and it's, if I don't want to be around these people, then I don't need to be around these people. And like, you need to allow people to be disappointed and not try to shrink to fit in, right? Like, don't try to be someone you're not for other people to make them happy. That was a huge thing for me when I was younger too, with friends. I was always constantly, I would say, like, I was so self-conscious that for me, it it wasn't really dimming my light. I just felt like I had no light to show. So it was easier to just be and exist out how other people wanted me to be, because it made me feel special. It made me feel heard. It made me feel seen. It made me feel like cool and wanted, even though it was not even me at all, right? So it was not authentic. It was not who I was. And I realized that, like, I don't want to perform to be chosen anymore. I don't need to perform. I love to be natural. I love to be me and have the right people surround me. And when you start to get into that mindset, you no longer care what people think, and you no longer want to conform to be like them, right? I'm actually very happy to be who I am and to have my quirks. And if people don't want to hang out with me, then that's on them, not me. Like, that's totally fine. And like, that's just how I feel now, because I never was that way. I never had that confidence to do it that way. And now I do. And like, I just, my phone is like full of storage right now, and I have like literally 4 minutes to record before it cuts the video off for the 30th time. I was like in my phone trying to delete video so I can continue to record. But yes, anyways, back to the video. Lessons to heal yourself. Like, you need to realize you can't pour from an empty cup. So when you start realizing that, you start taking care of yourself first, because you can't help or do anything for anyone if your cup's not full and if it's empty, because then there's nothing to give. It's an empty cup. So that's how you know you start healing that version. That's how you heal that version, is you start putting your energy back into yourself, no longer with other people. You're no longer going to, like, no is the fight. Like, you don't have to explain your no's. No. I stopped explaining. I used to explain a lot, over explain. And that was, again, people pleaser. Now, because I'm healing that version, I'm not explaining nothing. No is no for me. I don't need to tell you why it's a no, it's a no. And setting boundaries and not going back on them. If people can't respect your boundaries, then they can go out of your life, and that is totally fine. Not only that, this is the thing too. You want to know how you heal those versions of yourself. You continue to set boundaries. You continue to never over explain yourself or your no's. You put the energy into yourself. But when you start doing this, the coolest thing happens is you actually start attracting people who respect all of that and who are more aligned with you, that you actually, like, you don't need to overgive to these people. And they're out there, and they'll find you and they'll come to you the more you heal this version of yourself. And the next thing you know, you're going to have this beautiful group of people in your life who respect your boundaries, who water you just the same as you watered them. And it is amazing. And you're aligned with them. And it feels great, because I'm telling you, if you have to overgive to people to keep them in your life or to have a relationship with them, then they're not for you, and you should let those people go. I'm telling you this. That is the honest truth. If you're overgiving and you feel drained from people, they should not be in your life, and it's time to let go and say goodbye. Because I'm telling you, you will meet people who you do not have to overgive. You just need to be yourself, and that's enough for them. And they won't ask for more, but being yourself and being who you are. And by doing that, and you're watering them and they're watering you, by doing that, you don't feel drained. You feel amazing. You keep growing as a person. If they are draining you, they should not be in your life. So that's my take on people pleasing. I used to think that being a people pleaser was because I just care so much about people, and I want to help, and I want to, I have a big heart. But the issue with that, you can have all those things and it doesn't make you any less by setting boundaries. Because if you are always giving to other people, who's giving to you? Who's taking care of you? You need to take care of yourself. You need to have your back, and you need to stand up for yourself. And because if you don't do this, people will walk all over you. Because why wouldn't they? You're giving it all for free. You're with no expectations. And like, when people aren't giving it back to you, it just drains you. And when you're drained, it does not feel good. And it's emotionally draining, emotionally toxic, physically draining, when you could have people in your life who don't do that to you. Anyways, my recording is going to go. So that is it. And I'm going to have to piece together all these videos because I had to like tape 3 of them. Anyways.